Well, it looks like we are ready to go, and let's hand over to Bruce Cull in the venue to announce our archers out.
From Michigan, 900 with 71X, Scott Shearer. From Kansas, 900 with 72Xs, James Ball. From Tennessee, a brand new competitor to the scene, 900 with 74Xs, Chance Bobeth. From West Virginia, a 75X shooter, Cody Seitz. And a legend of the game, from Maine, the Cooge, Dave Cousins. Hailing from Missouri, 900 with 77Xs, Sam Waltice. And a New Yorker, Lewis Price, qualifying with a 977X. Escaping lockdown from California, 977Xs, Mark O'Mell. From Kansas, 979Xs, Jeff Rainey. Qualifying with a 900, breaking the 80X barrier, from Minnesota, Nick Cappers. And we had to put this guy in front of a defroster. It was a little bit too cold outside for his Florida bones. Jesse Broadwater. Coming all the way from New York, shooting a 900 with 81Xs, Jacob Slusars. Standing 6 feet 10 inches tall, from Indiana, Dane Johnson. Hailing from Boston, shooting a 981Xs, Braden Galantine. Our next shooter comes from Alabama, shooting a 900 with 83Xs, Robert Householder. Coming to us from Colorado, shooting a 900 with 84Xs, Jacob the Body Pettit. And our second Danish competitor of the night, shooting a 900 with 85Xs, the Assassin, Stefan Hansen. And our top qualifier, shooting a 900 with 87Xs, hailing from the north, the Canuck, Chris Perkins. All right,
well, there we have it. 20-man lineup for the showcase final here, the men's shootdown.
27 states here, 4 foreign countries. This group represents 15 states and 3 countries. Incredible, from all over the place. Give them all a big hand again.
Well, there you go, 3 countries, obviously mainly US citizens, but we've got a Canadian and a Dane, and they in fact qualified first and second, looking to steal the show here at the Rushmore Rumble.
Also, if you've been watching what we're doing, you're all going to shoot at once. You're going back to a regular timer for your 3 arrows. The minute we get down in the neighborhood of 5 shooters, you'll be going person by person, arrow by arrow, okay? And also at this time, so you understand your target assignments, I just want to tell you, Chris and Stefan, you will be side by side on number 1. The A and B just prints that way, okay? Everybody understand? All right, put your targets up, and we're going to be ready to rumble.
Well, I was waiting for Ready to Rumble at the Rushmore Rumble, and there it is. Bruce Cull said it, saving me from doing so. Chris, we got 20 archers. We've kind of had a bit of a lineup, and then that's changed, and then we had a bit of an order and a schedule, and that's changed. But actually, what's turned out is what we were hoping for. All 20 archers are going to be shooting at the same time to start this match off.
Yeah, we're going to be going wide for the first few ends until we just get down to a few archers, and then we're going to go one by one again. If we went one by one to start with, we'd be here all night. 20 fantastically talented archers. The top two qualifiers, Chris Perkins and Stefan Hansen, World Championship winners in 2011 and 2015. Mike Struser, also a Vegas champion, split them 2013, not there from the Netherlands. Another World Championship winner, Dave Cousins, 1999 Riom, he won the World Archery Championships. He's there, the 14th qualifier with 76 X's, 21 X's back on Chris Perkins, the top qualifier. Some fantastically talented shooters, young, experienced, I won't say old, in the foreground there. Dave Cousins and Chance Bobuff on the right. A lot of Vegas wins between them, a lot of massive titles on that line. This is a new one, the Rushmore Rumble.
It's great. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. And like you say, we're going to shoot all together because, I mean, if we went one by one with a lineup of 20, we would be here all night. And, of course, it's a very important day. A lot of these people will be having arrangements for this evening there with their partners on Valentine's Day, having spent the weekend here at the Yankton Archery Centre. They deserve to go and have a nice romantic meal. Deathly silence from Chris Wells. World Archery, not a romantic at heart, obviously, like my good self. But we are ready to have practice to get underway. Chris, with such a massive lineup here, this sort of is reminiscent of looking at the field at the qualifying stages of an outdoor tournament.
I really want to say a big thank you to our staff.
The talent on this field is huge, as we were talking about. Chris Perkins, Stefan Hansen, both world champions, as is Dave Cousins, Jesse Broad, field champion. Brady Gellenstein, very talented, world #1 at the moment. A huge list of archers, and Bruce Cull there just thanking all of the people that have supported this event. Not the top ones on the line, but also the sponsor support and all the amateurs as well.
One last guy, an individual, a big thank you. Guy by the name of Greg Poole over here is the guy that called me up.
Well, some housekeeping on here by Bruce Cull, thanking all the people involved in putting this together. Just a few weeks they've had to put this tournament on, replacing the Vegas Shoot this weekend. Vegas Shoot will be coming to you in April, being delayed off. There's a few nicknames in this lineup here. I think it was Dave Cousins, the Cooge. Jacob Pettit was the Body. Stefan Hansen, the Assassin. Chris, when you were a competitive archer, what was your nickname?
Last. I wasn't competitive enough to have a good nickname, unfortunately, Karim. Stefan Hansen.
We should come up with one for you, Chris. I'll have to think about that one. What would you call Chris Wells on the field of play if he was still shooting today? Maybe
Bruce
people
Cull
can
just
tweet
talking
their
about
answers in.
The Indoor World Series there. Everyone who's shot in this event, the first 60 arrows counting towards the Indoor World Series, the 4th remote stage of the Indoor World Series, which has been running since November.
You stumble at the Rumble. Good luck, and here we go.
Yeah, so that's how they've managed to incorporate this amazing event into the brilliant series and circuit that's been put on by World Archery, this Indoor World Series, linking live tournaments with remote scoring as well. The practice getting underway here. Chris, how quickly can we expect the field to dwindle here?
If we drop any in the first ends, when we're on the Big Ten, I'd be surprised. But you never know. Someone might have a spurt of nerves. There's a lot of talent on that line, as we said. I'd say 3 or 4 ends, we should be down to the number we go 1 by 1, and then I think it's gonna come to a winner very, very quickly, because all the focus is on the person at full draw and their target. But you know, it's the wonderful and the kind of challenging thing about this format. We don't know how long it's going to take. We'll keep going until we've got that unbeaten winner.
Yeah, and as our in-venue host announced, what we're going to do is we're going to have this, as Chris called it, a wide view of what's going on as we start with our 20 archers. And as people get eliminated, we will get down to somewhere around 5 before we revert to what we've seen in the other competitions so far, and each archer shooting 1 by 1. Predetermined time for their arrows when they're in this big group. Then the target judges will go down the line to confirm the scores. Time's up for practice. They'll go and retrieve their arrows. Oh, a little bit of repair work going on the stabilizer for one of the archers, and look at the camaraderie there. Is 3 of his competitors, his opponents, actually looking over to see if they can assist.
No one wants to see someone have to retire because of an equipment issue. They want to be beaten on the target, don't they? So camaraderie to make sure everyone can compete. Only one winner from this line of 20.
Well, they've had their practice. They are getting themselves into their final preparation mode now. We are at the Rushmore Rumble and the 20-man lineup for the SHOOTDOWN for the final title of 2021 at the Yankton Archery Centre. What do you say? Let's get on with end number 1.
For score, we are doing regular Vegas scoring with the Big Ten counting as 10. Good luck.
We'll start off with the Big Ten, and as Chris Wells has said, we're expecting all archers to progress through this first end. Let's get underway as we watch all the archers shoot their 3 arrows.
Go down the line, just taking a look to see if anyone's shaken on the first shot, but it doesn't look like it. Don't expect to see anyone go out in this first end on the big scoring. Of course, none of these archers have dropped a point on the Big Ten so far this weekend, although there is Price over on the right of target 6, looking a little bit dodgy on his bottom arrow. Should have survived though with those fat shafts these guys are shooting. Top end of the line, Chris Perkins, 2011 world champion, and Stefan Hansen one inside in the blue, the 2015 world champion.
Yeah, 2 seeds for this SHOOTDOWN. Perkins from Canada, Hansen from Denmark. So they have all shot their first 3 arrows of end number 1. And all just taking a little view, some of them using their binoculars. I'll step up to the line as we wait for the target judges to come out. And they will come down the line confirming the scores. Starting with the Canuck, Chris Perkins, and Stefan Hansen on the far left-hand side of the screens. The bale right down the end with the 2 targets there are the leaders, and they're already moving on. So one would have to assume that our first 4, Perkins, Hansen, Petit, Householder, all with 30s. Having a little weight on the Gelantine, Johnson, Bale. well.
Oh, we can see there.
Broadnax, yeah.
Curtis Broadnax. He's dropped his bottom left target high and left.
Round of applause for Curtis Broadnax.
There you have it. Broadnax. Curtis, not Jesse, has taken 20th place by the looks of things.
For Bruce and our judges, that in took 3 minutes. At Vegas, it took 23 minutes.
Rivalry between the two host cities, Yankton and Vegas there. Just taking 3 minutes for the judges to come down the line. But it's Curtis Broadnax from Florida who has fallen at the first hurdle. The archers, the 19 remaining archers, almost ready to go again as they head into end number 2.
And gentlemen, this will be the first end of X-ring scoring. The X scores as a 10.
So there you have it. We're now down to the small 10 ring. 19 archers remaining.
The best way to know if someone's missed the 10 ring in this one is by the look on their faces. We expect this field to trim down fairly quickly. Quick glance at the targets though, and no one's got anything egregious so far.
No, it does look very solid for a lot of them, but of course that tiny 10 ring, very difficult to spot. You only need to be out by a mil, and that could be curtains for you. Sights looks like he may have just gone high and right on the bottom right target. I didn't really spot anything else, but I mean, I'm not suggesting Sights has gone out, but it just, if any of the arrows looked farther away from the center, that was the one. So end number 2 done. Chris, did you pick up anything there?
Yeah, Sights looks dodgy. Sam Wolfhouse also looks like he's got one a little too far out on his top target. All wanting to take a really good look. Everyone checking those a little bit off the line. Slowing things down in this second end when we're going to see far more archers drop away in this sudden death final. Remember, if they don't shoot the highest score on the field, they're out.
Yeah, and I think we can definitely say there's some 30s there. So everybody needs a 30 to stay in. 29 not good enough. This format, brutal. Conversely, perversely, the further the target is away from the camera, the easier it is to see what they've scored. Price looks like he's got a couple that are not bang in the center, but they do still look like they're going to be okay. Voltaire, as you mentioned, Chris, they're spending a little bit of extra time there. Cousins looks safe, and here's Cody Sights' target. They're having a good look at that one.
Wolfhouse is out for sure. That top one's definitely too low and left. Sights low and right. High and right, sorry, on that bottom right target. That's 2 we've lost at least. Looks like Scherer has one too high and right on the top. But Cole Frederick on target 10. Now alone since Curtis Broadnax fell away in the first one. Looks to be safe. So I think we're down to 17, but we'll need some confirmations.
Well, judges have done their tallies, but we have now the confirmation judge coming down the line as well.
Stephen Hansen, 30.
So we're getting the scores now, and then two 30s from the top two.
Robert Householder, 30. Braden Galantine, 29.
Galantine has dropped a point, and he goes out.
Dane Johnson, 29.
As does the archer from Indiana, Dane Johnson.
Jacob Slusars, 30. Jesse Broadwater, 30. Jeff Rainey, 30. Nick Cappers, 30. Mark O'Mell, 30. Lewis Price, 29.
Well, we did have a question mark against Lewis Price, and he has indeed dropped a point.
Sam Waltice, 29.
And we thought Waltice would do the same, and he has gone as well.
Dave Cousins, 29.
Well, Cousins has gone as well. We thought he had a 30, but he's out with a 29. Well, this is Cody Seitz' target. Spending a great deal of time on this one. You can see Chance Boberth's target to the right. And Cody Seitz has gone out. Chance Boberth, it looks like he's got a 30.
James Ball, 30.
Scherer looks like
Scott
he's a
Shearer,
29 as well. It is a 29.
Cole Prater, 30.
So there we have it. Gregory Scherer, Cody Seitz, Dave Cousins, Sam Waltice, Lewis Price, Dane Johnson, and Braden Galantine all going down in the second end. So, well, that gets us down to just 12 athletes left, Chris. Just 12 going into N3.
Yeah, we said it was going to thin out as soon as we hit onto that small 10, and what we've really seen actually is the lower ranked archers come to this final. A lot of them have gone out, and we've had 7 of the bottom 10 fall away in this, or 7 of the bottom 9 at least, 8 of the bottom 11. Cole Frederick, 230s, the lowest ranked archer in this final, stuck out on the right side of Bale number 10, but our top 4, Chris Perkins, Stefan Hansen, Jacob Petit, and Robert Householder still in this.
Yeah, the remaining athletes now changing their targets, clean target faces for end number 3. Interestingly, you talk about Cole Frederick as the lowest qualifier coming into this final. Standing out there on his own, maybe that little bit of distance from his nearest opponent will play in his favor.
Play in his favor, or perhaps exactly the opposite. We've seen this single arrow at a time shooting when you're on your own, when the focus on you, the pressure is higher. The less people around him to protect him, and, you know, imagine he's in a bubble with everyone else, the more the focus is going to be on him, especially that side, as we get to end number 3.
So down to 12, you can see that the lineup has thinned out, but they will all still shoot their 3 arrows together. Frederick has gone high with his first arrow, and that, I think, could spell his demise.
Nothing looking scary on either Chance Bobuff or James Ball's targets. Two of the other lower qualifiers still remaining in this shoot down.
Yeah, they stand alone as a pair. Bobuff and Balls.
Something a bit dodgy on Jeff Rainey's target there, though. I think that one could be... Oh no, that's Mark O'Mell.
Just taking his time with the last arrow there, but all done in end number 3. Well, it gets even harder, even though there's less there. What's your call here? You said you saw, was it O'Mell was had a bit of a stray one?
Cole Frederick, O'Mell, I think we're losing it. Those two for sure. We haven't really seen the targets down the far end. That'll be where business is occurring, but I don't think it'll be long before we're heading to single arrow shooting. Hansen also looks like he's pushed one high.
Interesting. The number 2 rank coming into this. There's a low one from Rainey as well. Is that still inside the small 10 though?
Broadwater's safe, I think.
Kappa's also looks like he's safe. Although they're having a look at the bottom left target. Quick look. I think... Well, maybe he isn't. Maybe that bottom left is just a little too high. Now here's O'Mell's target. Required there. Oh, did Bobuff drop his last arrow? Potentially. He was looking safe, as you said, Chris, but the bottom right target does look a little low and right.
Disappointing end for a very experienced archer. If so, ball looks safe though, so looks like we've got at least a few advancing into the 4th end.
Yeah, well, we'll wait the scores now.
Christopher Perkins, 30.
Top seed through.
Stephen Hansen, 30.
And Hansen does make it through as well.
Jacob Pettit, 30. Robert Householder, 30.
So the top 4 safely through. We know Galantine and Johnson have already gone.
Jacob Slussars, 30. Jesse Broadwater, 30. Jeff Rainey, 29.
So our first faller is Jeff Rainey. Kappa's is being measured again. It's that bottom left-hand target for Nick Kappa's. Minnesotan archer is definitely under scrutiny, as is Mark O'Mell. Kappa's goes through with effort.
Mark O'Mell, 29.
As you called it, Chris, Mark O'Mell has fallen as well.
Chance Bobuff, 30.
Well, it's a 30 for Bobuff. He did get away with it.
James
His ball's
Ball,
through.
30.
He is.
Cole Frederick, 28.
And it's a 28 from Frederick, so he will finish in 12th place. And now we are down to 10. So another few falling there. Chris, a few close calls, let's call them. A few athletes getting through by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, we thought Stefan Hansen would be out there from what we could see on his target, but he must have just clipped the top of the line. 3 archers falling away from the 12 that started, so 9 going into this 4th end. The longer this goes out, the more chance someone just has a little worry, a little wobble. Just misses that very small 10 ring, just 2 centimeters in diameter. Just got to clip it. It's not a big target to hit. I'm interested to see if they decide to go to 1-by-1 shooting. But I think we'll wait at least one more end.
9 people. Yeah. Well, there you go. They're continuing to shoot as one group. Down to 9, as Chris rightly said. It's time for end number 4. Well, shooting all together for the 4th end, down to 9. This is thrilling. I love this format, Chris. Is it something that we're going to see more often?
It's a very NFAA format. It's not a World Archery format, but Vegas, hugely famous indoor event. NFAA, not our standard member association in the US, USA Archery, allowing us to use the results from this tournament for the Indoor World Series. And I love the way that these events and this format just constricts down to one winner. It's really sudden death. It's really miss or you're out.
Yeah, great for the spectator as well. Getting a closer look at the top end of the order, Perkins, Hansen, Pettit and Household. Looking fairly safe. He's just saw a chance. Boberth there, not so happy with his second arrow. Well, I have to say, James Balls looks like he's getting better and better. Down on the right-hand side, Balls and Boberth together on targets 8 and 9. Chris, did you spot anything there?
Same as you. I think we've got a definite one on that bottom right. It's difficult to see those at the far end, though. When we constrict, they'll probably move these targets towards the middle of this finals arena so we can all get a better look and just to bring them together and build the pressure as we get to a deciding last few shots.
Well, coming down the line fairly swiftly, it has to be said. It doesn't necessarily give away too much, especially seeing as we can't quite see those targets down to the left-hand side as we look down. Looks like a couple of drop points there, at least one for Kappers. He looks like he may well be going out, the archer from Minnesota.
You can see this field. Oh, top right one on the bottom. Sorry, bottom right arrow, top right on the 10 ring. I think that's definitely a 29 for chance. Boberth will be losing him, a very experienced multiple Vegas winner. But it's really the guys on the left, the top seeded guys. They seem to have survived these first early rounds and very experienced in the kind of head-to-head single arrow shooting that World Archery does.
29.
Perkins with a 29. So Perkins has gone.
Jacob Pettit, 30.
Well, we couldn't see Perkins' target. Canadian.
Robert Householder, 30.
flying the maple leaf on his own, has fallen.
Jacob Slusars, 30. Jesse Broadwater, 30. Nick Cappers, 28.
So Cappers, as we expected, has fallen as well.
Chance Bobeth, 29.
And Bobeth was marked down.
James Ball, 30.
Ball getting a 30. And there we have it. So Berber falling along with Cappers, but the big surprise, Chris Perkins, the #1 seed coming in, has fallen as well. So we are now down to 6 archers. Chris, we must now be going to single arrow shoot off.
It wouldn't surprise me if we might do one more end in this format before a Master of Ceremony, Bruce Cull, NFA President, decides to rearrange them. I think he's just having a little rendezvous to decide when they do that.
Yeah, having a little discussion, and now the archers stepping forward.
Yeah, he's going to move them to the middle of the arena, center everybody in the center of the of these 20-lane finals. Target. Again, I said it at the start, I really love this event where the guys in the finals have to put their own targets up, have to rearrange their targets when they're moved. It's unbelievably raw, unbelievably, yeah.
Yeah, back to basics. It's quite right too. Sort yourselves out. Nice clean targets for everyone as well. Well, lots of discussion going on at the moment as the athletes are down there replacing their targets and moving, as Chris rightly said, to a more central position. Better for us, better for the spectators in the venue as well, to get a clear sight. And of course, they're all standing next to each other as well, which brings drama on its own. So, Chris, was it a surprise for you to see Perkins fall, dropping his first points in the 4th end to not make it through?
Well, it's not an easy target to hit, that 2-centimeter 10 ring. He won Vegas a few years ago in unfortunate circumstances where he actually lost the shoot-off, but the winner, Bobby Eiler, was disqualified after failing a drugs test. So he didn't get his moment in the fame. He'll be going back to Vegas again to try and get that championship title and that championship celebration win he truly deserves. Obviously, he got the prize money, he got the ring, he got all the accoutrements that come with a Vegas win, but not that moment of celebration, which is a tough thing. Perkins, fantastic competitor, as we said, 2011 World Archery Champion, but it's really easy to miss that small X, that small 10 ring, especially when the pressure's on. But we have got, you know, those top qualifiers, Stefan Hansen, Jacob Petit, Robert Householder, 3 of the top 4 remaining in this competition. James Ball, the lone lower qualifier on target number 8 now.
Yeah, he looks like he's been getting better and better through this shoot down. We're down to 6, and it's time for end number 5.
And progressing on up with our last shooter being Stefan Hansen.
Well, we are going to shoot from closest to farthest here. James Ball will get end number 5 underway. We're down to the archers shooting 1 by 1, down to 6, going for the biggest score.
All right, good luck.
Different kind of pressure, shooting 1 by 1. James Ball will shoot first. For me, he could be the surprise package here. Very calm, very methodical, straight into the 10 ring. Floridian, Jesse Broadwater, also a 10. Hailing from New York, Jacob Slusars. A longer hold, but another 10. Oh, grit and determination on the face of the New Yorker. He's from Alabama. It's Robert Householder.
Four 10s so far. 4 archers into this 5th end.
The body, Jacob Petit from Colorado. Another 10. And the lone foreigner, Stefan Hansen, known as the Assassin, highest seed still left in. Also into the small 10. So calm. Longer hold this time from Broadwater. Result is the same. Another 10. Who is going to drop points first? Well, that is very good indeed. Another 10. So it's over to Householder. Well, it's touching the line, so that will be a 10. Remember, they're aiming for something that's not much bigger than a €1 piece or a dime. It's a small area of target they're trying to hit, and all of them so far in this 5th end have hit a 10. Pressure building all the time to our final archer, Stefan Hansen. And he again has clipped the 10. So nothing between them. Didn't look happy with that one, and that could be a dropped point for James Balls. Well, it looks like a 30 for Jesse Broadwater. I think he's safe and through. Jacob Slusars again. Slightly longer hold than most of them in the lineup. Also looking solid with 30s. Looks a little right, but I fancy that's still a 10 as well for Robert Householder. A man from Alabama looking like he should be going through, but we will keep an eye on that one. Jacob Petit from Colorado. He didn't look happy, but that looks like a 30 to me. Hansen looking very relaxed, but I think that's questionable as well. Is that a 29 for Stefan Hansen, Chris?
No, that was the wrong target. They showed Bull's target when Hansen released. Bull's definitely got a 29. Didn't see Hansen's target from the last 2 arrows, but there wasn't a bad look on his face, so let's assume he's all right.
Yeah, good spot there that we were looking at Ball's target. You can feel the tension in the crowd looking on. The format of this competition lends itself to an audience understanding exactly what's going on. Basically, you've got to score 30, otherwise you're going out, put simply. So it looks like we've got pretty quick scores on the doors here. Announcer ready to call.
Stefan Hansen, 30.
Hansen is safe.
Jacob Pettit, 30.
Pettit also through. Householder's last arrow. Was it out?
Robert Householder, 30.
It was not.
Jacob Slusars, 30. Jesse Broadwater, 30.
He looks safe. So this is the big one. As James Ball's run ended. Still having a look at the arrow, bottom right target. It sounds like it's a 29 for James Balls. It looks like he is going out.
For the 29, James Ball.
And it is 6th place for James Balls of Kansas. He is out of the tournament. What a fantastic tournament he's had here at the Rushmore Rumble in Yankton. 6th place to him, and we are down to 5. Chris, phenomenal shooting from 5 of our 6 remaining archers, and just a 29 for James Ball.
Yeah, and that bottom right target, it was close to the arrow as well. It wasn't a mile out. We expected to see a few more drop as soon as we switched to that one at a time shooting, but you know, every end that goes on, the pressure ramps up. It's only a tiny mistake that's needed to lose a point, and we'll see if that comes in end number 5.
Yeah, it certainly will. We've lost another one, down to 5. Let's move on to the next end. So now shooting first, the Floridian Jesse Broadwater. Cool, calm and collected. And that is the result, a 10 in the small 10 ring. As we move on to Jacob Slusas. Didn't look so happy. I'm looking at that thinking that's probably clipped the 10. Chris, would you agree?
Yeah, no doubt there. Half shaft in at the bottom, but it was a long hold, like you said previously.
Householder, similar position, but looks like he's clipped the 10 as well. What can the body do? Well, looks like another 10 for him, and a Danish assassin, Stefan Hansen. Another one that's close. Probably a 10 for him, so we move back to Jesse Broadwater. It's time for the 5 archers to shoot their second arrows.
No nerves on these halfway through this second round. Down the line, getting a little bit closer to the edge. There's a little wobble needed, pressure building. No doubt from Robert Householder. It's all about aim in compound archery. This guy's showing some of the best of it. Oh, but that's a violent release from Jacob Petit. Definitely a 9. He's looking out of shape in this one.
Well, we'll come through the second arrows, and as Chris said, it looks like Jacob Petit from Colorado is, well, in trouble. Broadwater looking safe. Long hold, Sluisars paying off. That first arrow was the only one that could be questioned, but I think he's through with a 30. Householder looking very calm, but probably a little nervy moment here. Now we think Petit's already dropped points. So finishing with the 29 for Jacob Petit. Hansen bang in the middle as well. Now, we think we've potentially just lost one. Jacob Petit, we think, Chris, is the only one to have dropped points in that sixth end. Yeah,
we saw that violent release on his second arrow, and it flung low and left, and there was not a chance that one hit the 10 ring. He's got a 29, and he'll be leaving. The others, though, solid 30s. It's slow, but we're whittling these chaps down. Looks like we'll be down to 4 at the end of this end once we get confirmation from the targets.
Yeah, so we think it's 30 for Hansen, Householder, for Sluisars and Broadwater. Those will be our 4 remaining going into end number 7. We think it's Jacob Petit who has dropped a point with that violent release, as Chris has described it, and this second arrow. He got away with a 9, but at this level and with the standard of shooting we've got here, it's just not enough. And there is Hansen confirmed through.
Jacob Petit, 29.
As we thought, Petit has gone and will pick up 5th place.
Robert Householder, 30. Jacob Sluisars, 30. Jesse Broadwater, 30. Give it up to Jacob Petit, 5th place in the Rushmore Rumble.
So 4 through the 6th end. It's Jacob the Body Petit who goes out, the archer from Colorado, taking 5th place here at the 2021 Rushmore Rumble. And the archers will replace their targets yet again as we head into the next end. Pressure building here, but Chris, the archers are still hitting the very center of that target.
Yeah, it's not easy. 2 centimeter 10 ring, and it's a little mistake that it takes. It really is sudden death at this event. If you just wobble a little bit, you're out. As you see, Stefan Hansen adjusting over. He's moving tighter in. So we're on the center 4 targets. Difficult to keep changing targets, difficult to keep changing location, but very experienced archer is Stefan Hansen, being a world champion and all. It's tough, you know. Archery is all about hitting the middle, but when the mental game is not to miss, it's really hard to stop that doubt from creeping in and stop those wobbles, and that's what we're waiting for here. The further we get in this shoot down, the more those wobbles will start in the knees, creep up the body, and just manifest in a slightly off release, a slightly off aim, and an arrow just outside the 10 ring.
Yeah, we are down to the nitty gritty now. This is where it really counts, and you've got to stay on your A game. You can't let the emotions get the better of you. The consistency is so crucial in the action. We are, as I say, down to 4, and now it's time for end number 7.
Jesse Broadwater will start. Jesse, you are on the clock.
So here we go, end number 7, and it's Florida's Jesse Broadwater to get us underway. Not happy with that. My feeling
Looks
is
like he's caught it though.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. It looks like he's caught it, but wasn't happy with the execution. Ooh, that's just clipped the line for me. So I think they've all got away with 10s there.
Jesse Broadwater shooting now, looking the most comfortable of the bunch in my eyes. A lot of archers now using this nose button. He's one of them. 2 10s from 2 arrows in this 7th end. Slussage had that dodgy release, but caught the 10 with his first. Is that playing on his mind?
Looked happier with that one.
Just looks difficult.
Yeah, it's a lengthy process he goes through. It's got him this far though. Householder dancing around the ring of the middle 10. Hansen just having a little look at that one, and that looks like it's going to have to be measured, that second arrow from Stefan Hansen. Chris's pick, Jesse Broadwater. Solid. Well, another 30 by the looks of things for Jacob Slussage.
Massive contrast between Slussage's shot, very explosive, and Robert Householder, who's very, very static, and Householder creeping further and further out with each arrow as well.
Yeah, it looks like he may well have clipped a 9 on that one. Hansen looking like he's just about got a 10 on his third. That's the 7th end done. Now, 2 interesting calls here, and it's the top 2 remaining seeds. Stefan Hansen from Denmark and Robert Householder of Alabama look like they have 1 questionable arrow each, Chris.
Depends on the width of shaft that Stefan Hansen's shooting. If he's shooting the fat 27s, he'll have clipped it on the right, I think. If he's shooting the thinner arrows, it's going to be out. And hands on hips, it's difficult to tell. For Stefan Hansen, he might have gotten away with it.
Well, let's find out. The judges just doing their second run. It was a 30 for Hansen. He survived. He's through. Householder also through with a 30.
Jacob Slussage, 30.
And we think that Slussage and Broadwater are perfectly safe. And they are. All 4 progress through the 7th end. All 4 are into the 8th, but you have to say, did Stefan Hansen and Robert Householder get away with it? Chris?
Yeah, Householder very static in his release. He's, I won't say a puncher, but he clicks that trigger and you can see his thumb dancing around that the trigger on his release aid before he lets go. When he started this, he was much tighter in the middle. Now he's on the edge a little bit. It's only going to take a slight wobble, a slight shake, and he's going to drop a point, and we're going to lose another one.
Well, 4 remain in the competition as we move into end number 8. Jesse Broadwater will shoot first again. Very, very solid. Lots of steps in the process for Sluisas. And that is looking like it's gone into the 9.
Shake of the head. Well out.
Squeaky moment in the 7th end for Householder, but that's a good start into the 10 with his first arrow in the 8th. Slightly longer hold from Stefan Hansen. Now, is that one in?
Same direction as his first one. That was a little too far, but that's further. I think that's a 9.
Broadwater calm and solid with a 10. Well, Sluisas well out, as Chris put it, with his first arrow. That's back in the center for Sluisas, but the 9 on the first arrow could be the killer for him. Householder back up. Looking very composed. And we think shot a 9 with his first arrow. It's currently marked on the scoreboard as a 10. So we definitely have to wait to hear what the target judge says. That one has gone right into the center.
That's misleading because of the hole in the target from the last round, but Hansen on a 19 here. Just Broadwater and Householder. Broadwater shooting now 30 for this 8th end.
Yeah, Broadwater safe. Sluisas now cannot make it through, even if he scores a 10. Doesn't look happy with that either. And I think it was actually not happy with the very first arrow. 29 means he will go out. Now, can Householder get another 10 here? Got to keep his composure to stay in the game. Question mark. I've got it down as a 10, but I think that third arrow will be measured. Now, Hansen dropped a point with his first arrow, we think. Finishes with 2 10s. It's all going to be about the measure here. Now, it could be that Jesse Broadwater has done this. We think Sluisas, well, we know Sluisas dropped on his first arrow. We think Hansen dropped on his first arrow. Did Householder keep his third arrow in the 10 and stay in this competition with Jesse Broadwater? Well, target judges are down and reviewing.
They're taking a much closer look at that top face on Hansen's target, the one where, you know, I'm convinced it's out from a long way away. A little look at the reaction of the people. Everyone's going to go and have a look at it. If he's caught that, he's gotten away with one there. Be very lucky if he has.
Well, they had a very quick look at Householders as well, so I wonder if that's a simple 30 for him, and they just move straight on to Sluisars. It's intriguing. Sluisars had a good view, but I think it was clear for Sluisars, and I think it's pretty clear for Jesse Broadwater as well. Final review, and we're going to get the call very soon here. Are we going into a ninth end? And if we are, will Stefan Hansen be in it? Gut feeling was the first arrow was a 9, but as Chris mentioned, the previous hole in the target may be not only misleading, but also very distracting for the judges here. Clearly, they're having a difficulty, but they've now made their decision. It is a 29 for Stefan Hansen, but just let's wait for the remainder of the calls here.
Householder, 30.
Householder is through. Another look at Jacob Sluisars' target here.
I'm surprised they're taking so long on it. In my opinion, that's clearly out, and he thought it was clearly out as well. Head's shaking.
Jacob Sluisars, 29.
It is a 29, so Sluisars has gone. He will finish in 4th place.
30.
And it's a 30 for Jesse Broadwater, so that means Stefan Hansen finishes in 3rd, and we are down to 2. It's Robert Householder of Alabama who's made it through the 8th end, and he will go up against Jesse Broadwater of Florida to shoot off for the title here in the men's tournament at the Rushmore Rumble. There are now further discussions here, and it seems that Householder is involved in that. Hansen having a good look at his top arrow here as well. Now, is there a query? Hansen doesn't, well, not showing huge amounts of emotion, but clearly wasn't completely happy with the decision going out of the main draw. But that is where we're going to return now. It's Robert Householder of Alabama up Jesse Broadwater of Florida. It's end number 9, and they're going for the top spot here at the Rushmore Rumble.
Jesse, you are on the clock.
Jesse Broadwater to shoot first. Straight into the 10 ring.
He's looked so calm, so comfortable so far in this event.
The first sign of a little emotion there from Householder. Chris, was that a 9 or has it just clipped the 10?
Well, he's taking a good look at it. I took a good look at it too. I think that one's just clipped. He's been edging closer to the outside edge of the line through these last few ends, and I think that one, after the small break, has not quite clipped it.
Interesting. So a 9 for Householder, called by Chris Wells. Settles back in, and it's another one. This one looks a little close to the line. I've put it down as a 10. Can Broadwater provisionally put this one out of reach? He's not happy with that, and that's why that's a 9. So Householder, we think, needs a 10 here to stay in the match. Longer hold. Looks happy. That's why. That's his best arrow of the 9th end. We think it's 29 apiece. I think the athletes both think it's 29 apiece as well, as they walk down to about 4 meters away from the target. The judges are already out. Down to 2 athletes does make this process just a little bit quicker. Very quick look at Householder's target.
Robert Householder, 29.
So 29 for Householder and a 29 for Broadwater. We go into a 10th end with these two inseparable at the moment, Chris. Can you see any breaks in the armor anywhere?
Absolutely, we haven't seen a step wrong, even the hint of a step wrong from Jesse Broadwater up until this point, and he had a chance to put it away, and he knew he had a chance to put it away, and you could see on his face after that third shot, it just wasn't there. He had a chance to win that there and didn't do it. Cracks appearing for Householder for a little while now into this 10th end. That tiredness coming in. We'll see if he can hold it together.
Well, here it is. We're down to 2, and we're into the 10th end. Broadwater making a little adjustment to his sight there after that first arrow. Solid from Robert Householder. That one looks like it's clear in the 9 for Broadwater. Householder has an opportunity here. Job 1 of 2 done for Householder. Broadwater's just got to put this in the 10 to keep some pressure on Robert Householder. Jesse Broadwater from Florida. Well, it looks like a 29 for me. Can Robert Householder put this in the 10 and provisionally take the first Rushmore Rumble title? It is in the 10 by the looks of things. So now it's all about that second arrow for Jesse Broadwater, Chris.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. It'll be a millimeter in or out. We've seen some called that we didn't think were in, but that one is a little bit too far for me.
Yeah, it's a tough call. They look like they're ready to call it already. Arms crossed. Both the athletes looking on intently, trying to keep their emotions at bay.
2021 Robert Householder.
Well, there we have it. Jesse Broadwater from Florida just dropped 1 point in that 10th end to get a 29, and it means that the archer from Alabama, Robert Householder, is the inaugural winner of the Rushmore Rumble here in Yankton in 2021.